tell McCaroline a story to be said about a nasty green man who went right in the head. Here we are, come to you, in a squeaky spec or two, here to tell you a story, so just sit back and hang loose. How the Grinch stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss.
Every who down in Whoville like Christmas a lot, but the Grinch. But the Grinch. But the Grinch lived just north of Whoville did not. The Grinch hated Christmas.
The whole Christmas season.
Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve.
Hating the Who.
Staring down from his cave with a sour, Grinchy frown.
At the low-lighted windows below in their town.
For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a holly wreath.
And they're hanging their
He
stockings.
snarled with a sneer.
Tomorrow's Christmas. It's practically here.
And he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming.
I must stop Christmas from coming.
For tomorrow he knew all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early.
And they'd rush for their toys. And then, all the noise. That's one thing I hated, was the noise. And
then they do something he liked the least of all.
Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small,
Would stand close together with Christmas bells ring.
they'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. Oh, they sing, and they sing, and they sing.
And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought,
I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop Christmas from coming. But how?
then he got an idea.
An awful idea.
The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
I know just what to do.
The Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel.
You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as Neil, Mr. Grinch.
You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. What a great Grinchy trick with this coat and this hat. I'll look just like St. Nick. All I need is a reindeer.
The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer were scarce, there were none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch?
No.
The Grinch simply said,
If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead.
so he coaxed up.
Max! Come here, Max! Come here! Who's a good doggy? Who's a good dog?
And he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. Then he loaded some bags with some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sled. And he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said,
Giddy up!
and the sleigh herded down toward the homes where the Who's laid snares in their town. All their windows were dark, bright snow filled the air. All the Who's were out dreaming sweet dreams without care when they came to the first little house in the square.
This is stop number 1.
The old Grinchy Claus hissed, then he climbed to the roof with the bags in his fist. And he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch.
But if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch.
He got stuck
Only once!
for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little stockings all hung up.
The stocking.
He grinned.
Oh, the first thing to go.
Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant. Around the room, and he took every present. Popguns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn and plums. And he stuffed them in bags on the Grinch, very nimbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Then he slunk to the icebox.
Slunk.
He took the Who feast. He took the Who pudding.
He took the roast
He
beef!
cleaned out the icebox as quick as a flash.
Why, I even took their last can of Who Hatch.
Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee.
And now,
Ran the Grinch.
I'll stop up the tree.
And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to hum and heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. And he turned around fast and he saw
a small who? Who's no more than two.
Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why? But you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick, he thought of the lie, and he thought of it quick.
Why, my sweet little tot.
Fake Santa Claus lied.
There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. And so I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, then I'll bring it back here.
Well, his fit fooled the child.
And he got her a drink, and he patted her head, and he sent her to bed.
When little Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney.
And stuffed the tree up.
And the last thing he took was a log for their fire.
Oh, son of a who!
And he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On the walls, he left nothing but hooks and some lights. And the one speck of food that he left in the house
Was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. And I did the same thing to the other who's house.
leaving crumbs much too small for the other who's mouse. It was 1:15, all the who's still abed, all the who's still a snooze.
When I packed up my sled,
Packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags, the utensils, the trimmings, the trappings. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it.
poo-poo to the who.
He was grinchiously humming.
They're just finding out that no, Christmas is coming. They're just waking up, and I know just what they'll do. Every who down in Whoville will all cry, boo-hoo. That's a noise
Grin, grin.
that I simply must hear.
So he paused and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow.
It started in low, then it started to grow.
Every who down in Whoville, the tall and the small.
They were all singing Christmas songs
Praise well
without any presents at all.
this way.
I hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. Somehow or other, it came. Oh, it came just the same.
And he stood with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow. He stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags.
And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzle was sore. And then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before.
Maybe Christmas
He thought.
doesn't come from a store. Oh, maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
And what happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light. He brought back their toys and the food for the feast, and he, the Grinch,
Carve the roast beast. Christmas Day is in our grasp, so long as we have had. Welcome Christmas as we stand, heart to heart and hand to hand.